So what does ownership engineering have to do with saving the planet? It turns out, everything. You may be familiar with the show, The Deadliest Catch. This is where these boats leave Alaska to go into the Bering Sea and catch crabs. It's incredibly dangerous. They go out in terrible weather. The reason for this is that the fishery worked on a rule of first come, first served. Once the season started, the boats raced against each other in this sort of Mad Max competition until the quota was reached. And then the season ended. It turns out that for a period of time, it was more dangerous to serve on a boat as a crew in the Bering Sea than to be on active duty in Iraq. But Alaska changed all that. They used clever ownership engineering to create a new form of property. They made it possible to actually own part of the season's catch up front. The boat owners could hold on to it, they could sell it, they could use it. Similar in a way to the way we own shares in a company. But here's the thing, when the weather was terrible, they could stay at port. When the price was low, they could stay at port. Almost overnight, profits went up, deaths went down. This strategy is now used in sustainable fisheries all over the world. A similar strategy is being used to battle climate change and deforestation in the Amazon. In some jurisdictions, it is now possible to own reductions in greenhouse gases. As a result of this, it's worth more for trees to be standing in a forest than cut down or burnt. It's now profitable in some parts of the world to actually battle climate change. Smart ownership design is also behind New York City's drinking water. You may not know this, but New York City's water routinely beats out bottled water in blind taste tests. The reason for this is they get the water from about 100, 125 miles away in the Catskill and Delaware watersheds. The water comes to New York in these huge pipes. This has worked for the better part of a century. Recently, though, there's been a problem. And the problem is that development pressures in those watersheds has led to greater building, more pesticides, more herbicides, more runoff. The problem really, though, was one of ownership. The landowners up there, mostly farmers, did not own the clean water that they were producing. They couldn't sell it, and so there was no reason to keep the water clean coming off their land. New York addressed that by saying to the farmers, we're going to act as if you do own that water. So they paid them to keep the watersheds intact, to put in forests. Basically, the choice between investing billions of dollars in a treatment plant or much less in the environment. New York faced the choice between investing in green infrastructure or built infrastructure, and green infrastructure was the better investment. It may sound crazy, but making even more things mine could be the key to saving the planet, even pollution.